بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome all of you, wherever you are, and welcome you again with the program Fatwa Life. The first one, the one of the bank and some specific issues about the bank. I tell my sister, I can't talk about this bank from a distance, and there's thousands of miles, but I could give you the general rule in any bank that you deal with any Islamic institution that declared in its establishment that it's Islamic identity, and they have a board that overlook all their transactions unless from the trusted people, from the scholars of a specific action, one specific contract that is not allowed, so that by itself is not allowed, and anything else it's supposed to be permissible. My son, the rule on the thing is part of imagine it. These are questions that only the scholars of the East should answer it, because they are the one who are close to these transactions. They might have knowledge that we did not receive, and they know about it more than what we know because of their closeness to them. The second one is very nice one. There's different types of stones. Can you use it to use it as medicine, or certain that will change the positive thing? Or there's a saying that the gold will bring a cure. Well, I'll tell you the rule. Whomever put a tamima, meaning that something that thinking that's going to heal him, it will not heal him, and this is part of a partnership with Allah. But what is beneficial from scientific studies, uh, then it will be among the things that are permissible, but that you go to the expert, to the doctors, not to the scholars. Second question is the statement that we cannot be together. Is that part of divorce? I said it. I did not have the intention for divorce. I was in a dispute with my wife, and that's a statement I said. Well, my brother, that cannot be. It's the other ones. It has to have the intentions. You have to have the pure intention to divorce, and you did not have that intention. Then there is no divorce. Get a cure for your illness, because this is whispering of the shaitan. Allah heal you. A wife was divorced twice, and then she made khula. He took her without marrying somebody, meaning the khul is a separation, is not divorce. Then it will be divorced, then it will be the third one. And we know if he divorced her, then she cannot be permissible until she marry another husband. So he called it a separation, not a divorce. And since they came back, she's in that. Are their relationship permissible or forbidden? She don't want to die on a sin. So I tell her to consider the khula as a separation and not a divorce. It's a considerable school of thought. Some school and a lot of evidence for it. And this is the saying of Ash-Shafi in his old and the Hanbali. So there is no burden on the husband to continue what was he made fatwa. This is not something of the weird fatwa. No, it is something. It's one of the four known scholars that follows it. And my advice: don't keep with these whispering of the shaitan, so it will not ruin your life. There is a question from Dallas. A video that's going around, spreading around, that a woman she lost her husband after 17 years of marriage. She knew that he died, then she made shukr sajda to Allah. Not because she is making fun of her, no, because Allah honored her with this nice husband all this time. That's what the video is saying. Can you do the sujood shukr when someone die? You don't, we did not hear or hear or read something like that on the Prophet ﷺ or any of his companions. The answer: what is allowed in the Sunnah to make sujood shukr when there is a new bounty from Allah, when something a bounty comes in, or a calamity that's passed away. When you get something you love or something you hate that's gone away. For example, if you get a boy or someone who is sick and he was sick, or he found something he lost, or he survived drowning or fire. So he thanked Allah for the good from this kind of calamity. But when there is a calamity, what is allowed is patience. And as to say, Inna lillahi wa inna raja. We all belong to Allah and we should return back to Him. And to hold the tongue from the nonsense talk. When Ibrahim died, the son of the Prophet ﷺ, so he saddened, his heart saddened, and his eye, and he cried or he teared. Anas ibn Malik said, we entered to the Prophet ﷺ, and the Prophet took him and he kissed him and smelled him. And his eyes are crying. And Abdurrahman said, and you cry? He said, it is mercy. Then he said one more, and he said, Arisa, the eye will tear and the heart will sadden, and we will not say except what pleases Allah. We all, and with your separation, O Ibrahim, we are saddened. When the son of Al-Fudayl ibn Iyad, he was seen laughing in the funeral. You laugh in the funeral of your son. He said, yes, Allah Azza wa Jal decreed something and I wanted to be satisfied with his. So some people said, don't. He, alayhi salatu wasalam, cried. And he said, the heart will sadden and the eye will tear. And he is in the best satisfaction of Allah. So how could that be from the goodness of Al-Fudayl? The answer, the heart of the Prophet was hold to all types of degree, from satisfaction to Allah and to cry out of mercy to the kid. So you have the level of satisfaction and the mercy and the softness of the heart. Al-Fadl didn't have both the satisfaction and the mercy. You only got one, was his satisfaction with Allah. And Allah knows the best. Some father is complaining. He said, I have a gas station and my son refused to work with me because I sell a cigarette. And if I have anything and they have cigarettes, he refused to carry it. He's driving me crazy. The answer, you should thank Allah Azza wa Jal, what He gave you of the good righteous son, because this is one of the best bounties. And the servants of Allah who used to say, "Oh Allah, give us from our parents and send us a fashion of eyes." He didn't ask any goodness or anything but to make them among the righteous. Ibn Abbas is saying they like those who work with obedience of Allah. Ikram says they don't want nothing, they want to be obedient to Allah. Hassan al-Basri was asked about this, and he said that Allah Azza wa Jalla show the Muslim from his wife and his brother obedience to Allah. No, by Allah, nothing is more satisfying to the Muslim than to see his son or his grandson, boy or girl, obedient to Allah Azza wa Jalla. And Ibn Jurayj says in this, they are worshipping you and they perfect it and they not bring the calamity to us. So thank Allah Azza wa Jal on this bounty that a lot of people are prevented from, and some of the people are touched with calamity or they are saved. So have mercy on those of calamity and thank Allah Azza wa Jal on the good health. And without a doubt, the cigarettes, the smoking, that's all fiqh, they agree that is forbidden because of the harm. Because in the hadith, no harm or to bring harm. And when Allah forbids something, He or forbid selling it or helping into it. So Allah don't want nobody to help into it, because Allah said, do not help each other on that transaction. So try to get rid of the cigarettes as much as you can. If you leave it for Allah, Allah will replace you, compensate you something better. Can the couples during their lives decide how much is the gift for their kids, the four boys and kids? You want to write into that if he died, they get the money that he gave to his other kids in his life. Can he do that? The answer, what you talking about, a gift that was received, there is nothing wrong during your life. You are allowed in the money in goodness while you're alive, and you could give from it his kids whatever he want, with a condition of being just between his kids, because Allah said, fear Allah and be just with your kids. And accordingly, whatever he gave to his wife or their need, he had the intention to give all of them the first thing, but to promise of give is not required in only in the good character. If it's not received, then it become inheritance. And the hadith of Aisha who said, Abu Bakr gave me 20 wasq of garden. What is the date? And when he died, he said, oh my daughter, no one is more beloved to be rich except you. And I like to for you to poor. And I gave you 20 wasq. And if you took it, it could have been yours. But today it is for inheritance. Your brothers and sisters, so divided on the book of Allah. And you can say that whatever I had, I gave. What I didn't have, I put the intention to give it. If I had the age, and it gave me a sustenance. So if I died or didn't have enough money, so there is no obligation of incapability. So you cannot do what you are talking because as in well because Allah Azza wa Jal gave everybody their share in their inheritance. And the inheritance they cannot take from the will. But he could ask from his kids to fulfill his wish to be just between his kids with acceptance between them if they feel good about it. It's not obligated will. I could say, oh my kids, I gave you during my life this and I want to be equal. So if you want to be good to your other brothers to give them the same before the inheritance, I'll be grateful. But that's not a will that is required because Allah Azza wa Jal give everybody their share in their inheritance. Someone is saying he works in a supermarket somewhere that sells cigarettes. Does he get the sin? There any problem with his salary? As after we knew that it is forbidden to smoke, selling or buying or using, and the health institution saying that is going to be harmful. So you look after that on the work that you work that sells cigarettes. And from the common problem, if it is required, where you have no other choice but to work in these places, and you cannot have another alternative, hopefully he will get the permission where he will avoid selling it and leave it to somebody else. And to prepare himself by giving some of his income that he thinks is going to be equal that part from his work. And he keep looking for to another work that's going to be more beautifying for his income and more satisfaction to Allah. Ameen. 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 My friend, she don't consent her husband, so she wish she could be a widow. What is the rule in this dua? No, it's not allowed. Those who have live as a husband and wife, and they have one ceiling to cover them, they should ask Allah Azza wa Jal that these people will repent to Allah because that's more satisfying to Allah than to ask for destruction. The Prophet ﷺ said, don't wish the death because of some harm that happened to you because maybe you'll get increase in goodness if you lived. And if you are wrong, at least maybe you have time to ask for forgiveness. So ask Allah, or give me life if you think it is good for me, and make me die if you know that is better for me. And she's asking Allah for her husband to die. This is some despair person, but should not be fear despair from the mercy of Allah. Do not fear despair of Allah's mercy. You have to always have the good assumption with Allah. Allah Azza wa Jal was amazed from the disparity of his servant and the closeness of his mercy. And he laughed because he knew that your ease is coming close, is very close. What is the difference between the whispering of the shaitan and the intention in the I'll give you the link about the whispering of the shaitan and the divorce and The second, my Sheikh, I do a lot of actions, even in my study, until it's tired me while I keep repeating with no need. So, what is the question you're asking me, brother? And that is painful for me. May Allah heal you. May Allah give you a quick recovery. What is it I'm supposed to do? Second question, if somebody gave charity to the poor and he wants something from the poor and he didn't help him and he felt like he did not, uh, did good for the bounty he did, only in his inside. Does he have any, is that showing off or that something gonna take off his reward? No, well, Allah Azza wa Jal forgive you for all the things that you think. And sometimes these are natural feelings that you cannot push away from you. And if you meet about to somebody and he denied it and he didn't show appreciation for it, that's a natural thing that you will change your feeling, but should not put it as to transgress or to show off that you gave him some money, because that will ruin your charity. Don't ruin your charity with harm, and try your best to fight these feelings and ask Allah Azza wa Jal to give you the best of matters. Someone took off the easy in the fatwa of the traveling. He combined Dhuhr and Asr twice. And he did Asr 4. As he the what the combination is what is allowed. The shortening is the sunnah. In Mina, we shorten the 4, but we do not combine Dhuhr and Asr. And the scholar says to shorten it, it is sunnah, and meaning you are not following the ease in the religion. No, you're just following the sunnah of Rasulullah. To combine, this is something you do whenever you need. If the person sinned, if he is afraid to have kids because of the calamities in this life and the afflictions and the hardship of raising people, no. You have to always feel the offspring, because these are the garments of this life. Money and kids are the bounty of this life. If you die, all actions going to stop except 3. One of them, a son, righteous son, who will make dua for you. And in addition, the call of the Prophet ﷺ to his to marry the ones who's going to have kids, because he will bride himself the other nations at the Day of Judgment. So to have the good assumption with Allah Azza wa Jal. And I hope that you will see the fulfillment of your life, and he will be a good reflection after you in this life. In the supplication, you ask Allah for goodness, and that enter in paradise and forgiveness. Is the asking for something in this life is gonna stop you from salvation, from the reward that they no. Ask Allah Azza wa Jal. Be good, make sure you eat from righteous way, you will be one who will be answered. And don't rush Allah Azza wa Jal. Don't say, I called and I called and I called. No. And don't transgress in your dua. Because Allah said, do not transgress. Allah don't like those who transgress on people. And don't ask Allah Azza wa Jal with sin or the things are, or to ask Allah something that's impossible. Oh Allah, make me a prophet. You're not going to be. There is no prophet of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So don't ask Allah Azza wa Jal something that is impossible. And don't ask Allah with a heart that is unaware. Glorify Allah the Almighty. Ask Allah Azza wa Jal and you are certain of the answer. And you have combined your heart around Him. And you felt His glories. And know that the one who called will not be prevented from the goodness at all. Either Allah will rush it for him, what he asks, or He will keep it for him at the day of judgment, or He will take from the harm what is greater. And you are winner either way. So make abundance of dua and feel glad to think that Allah Azza wa Jal answers. Ameen. Ameen. We have a question from Michigan about something that had to do with the cemetery. We took a place of cemetery for those who want to buy a cemetery. Someone said, I want to take part of it. One at the grave, and the rest is the rest area. So if his family went to meet him, they have a place to sit down and they feel closer to the deceased. Is that allowed? Staying away from yes and no. I don't see where this one is suitable. It will open people to join off, even in the graves. That it should be away from the garment of this life. All the showing off is harder in this life. Some of these graves are like palaces, and there is and he wants to feel like he is a king after his death. So whenever come to him, you will see like red carpet. And the Shaykh is saying, what goodness would be a light, beautiful light, on top of a disbeliever? Someone who are partners with Allah? No, nothing. The Prophet ﷺ said, I used to forbid you from going to the cemetery, but no, I want you because it reminds you of death. So you go and visit because you want to remember death and to have Allah's mercy on the deceased and to ask Allah Azza wa Jal for forgiveness for them. And to soften your heart from this life and to feel of how belittle this life is and also enjoy it. If it is worth the wing off a mosquito, you will not let any disbeliever any atom weight of water. I was in a country in Asia at night. It's dark and there is no electricity, no public light, but you see an area as if it is a chandelier, and you see so many lights. They said this is a grave, one of the people They love him. They put all these candles every night. So not look good in the eye, but it is very harsh in the heart of Allah. Because the people are asking Allah's curse on them. Also, not from the Sunnah to stay in the grave and make khatm of Quran. All these surah. The Quran will talk those who are alive. But to give the reward to a deceased, you can do it from your house, anywhere. This is something understand, and the deceased will benefit from it. If you say Allah Azza wa Jal, make the reward of what I have recited, and the last a gift from me to so and so. But that could happen in any place. You don't have to go to his grave to do it. ده شخص بكده يعني اسمه